Chapter 1, Mishnah 1. The chapter begins by teaching that there are 4 kinds of oaths that are subject to the law of the oath of declaration. There are 2 types of oaths of declaration that are in reality 4. That is, there are 2 types of oaths of declaration that are mentioned explicitly in the Torah, and there are 2 more that are not mentioned explicitly, but which can be learned from the verses said about the first 2. The 2 that are mentioned explicitly are about the future. 1, I swear not to do something, and 2, I swear to do something. And the 2 that are not mentioned explicitly are about the past. 3, I swear I did not do something, and 4, I swear I did do something. Having mentioned that there are 2 types of oaths that are actually 4, 2 that are mentioned explicitly in the Torah and 2 that are not, the Mishnah cites 3 other areas of law that are also grouped into 2 categories that are reality 4, 2 that are stated explicitly in the Torah and 2 that are not. The first of these deals with the prohibition for a person who is tameh to enter the temple or eat holy food that comes from a sacrificial offering. A tameh person who does these things unintentionally is obligated to bring a variable chatas offering to atone for his sin. This obligation is called by the Mishnah an awareness of tumah. There are 2 types of awareness of tumah that are in reality 4. That is, there are 2 ways mentioned explicitly in the Torah in which a tameh person becomes obligated to bring an offering for violating these laws of holiness. And there are 2 more ways that are not mentioned explicitly in the Torah, but which are learned from the 2 that are. The 2 that are mentioned explicitly are the person forgot that he was tameh, and 1, he ate from an offering, or 2, he entered the temple. The 2 that are not mentioned explicitly are the person remembered that he was tameh, but 3, he forgot that the food he was eating was from an offering, or 4, he forgot that the area he was eating was the temple. There are 2 types of transfers on Shabbos that are in reality 4. That is, there are 2 types of transfers, carrying, prohibited on Shabbos that are mentioned in the Torah, and there are 2 more that are not mentioned in the Torah, but which are learned from those that are. The 2 mentioned in the Torah involve transferring something out of a private area into a public area. These are 1, someone standing in a public area, a street, reaches into a private area, such as a house, takes an object from there and brings it out to the public area, and 2, someone standing in a private area takes an object from his area and places it in the public area. There are 2 more types of transfers that are not stated explicitly in the Torah, but which are nevertheless biblically forbidden. They involve bringing in something from a public area to a private area. They are 3, someone standing in a private area reaches into a public area, takes an object from there, and brings it into the private area, and 4, someone standing in a public area takes an object from there and places it in the private area. There are 2 appearances of saras that are in reality 4. That is, there are 2 shades of white that are considered saras that are mentioned in the Torah, and 2 more that are learned from those verses indirectly. The 2 that are mentioned explicitly are 1, white as clean wool, and 2, white as snow. The 2 that are not stated explicitly are 3, white as an eggshell, and 4, white as plaster.